Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why it takes longer than you think. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I'm referring to healing from the narcissistic abusive relationship. Why it takes longer than you think, it's because this isn't like anything that you've had to heal from in the past. Example, remember, let's say you broke your arm or you twisted your ankle or something. Well, you went to the doctor and they told you what to do. The reason the doctor knew what to do was because they had done it dozens or hundreds or thousands of times before. You see, the human body is built the same way. And if you break a bone, usually you can set it in a cast and it will heal in the appropriate amount of time. Same thing if you twist an ankle. Fast forward to the narcissistic relationship. This is the relationship that you need to heal from. But there is not one doctor, there is not one person on the planet that can tell you exactly when you will heal. That's why it usually, almost always, takes longer than you think, because post-relationship, you have so much to learn. You have to learn about what narcissism is. You have to learn the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You have to learn how humanity functions and how it works. You have to learn that so many people don't think the same way you think. You have to learn about empathy. You have to learn about toxicity. You have to learn about boundaries. You have to learn about trust. You have to learn about people wearing masks, literally and figuratively. There is a mountain of education ahead of you. That's why the healing path is not linear. That's why it will take time. It will take a lot of time, but in your time, you will heal if you utilize the tools that are provided for you, which with each and every video I create, and with all of the amazing comments that are dropped from all over the planet on each and every video. Remember, each and every one of us at one point were new to narcissistic abuse. Each and every one of us were what is called the new supply. Each and every one of us experienced the ending of a relationship with the toxic narcissist. Now, whether that relationship ended via discard or if it ended with you removing yourself from it, that doesn't change the fact that you were in it, and you will need to heal from that relationship. Pause. The narcissist has nothing to heal from. The narcissist doesn't care about anybody but themselves. You now know that, or you're learning it. That's why they can move on so effortlessly to other sources of supply or to other relationships. That's why they don't shed tears. That's why they can fake tears, but they don't actually have them within them, because they don't know what you know. That's why when you were in that relationship with the narcissist, they were observing you. They were watching how you walked, how you talked, how you functioned, how people respected you, how you carried yourself, the words you used, what hobbies you were into, the way you wore your hair, your fashion, your car, your bank account, everything and everything in between. And the narcissist was mimicking back to you so much of the things that you had taught them, whether you taught them on purpose or not, because that's what the narcissist is. They're a master mimicker. They're like a parrot. They're like a bird who just mimics back what they see. No disrespect to birds. I love birds. I'm just sharing with you. The narcissist has no originality within them. So why this will take longer than you think? It's because post-relationship, many times people want to wave that magic wand or consume that magic pill, and they just want to be done with it. They want to be healed. They want to be living their best life, and they want to go back into romantic relationships, or they want to have their mindset back, or their energy, or their time. This doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly. It happens over time. It happens as you put yourself back together. It happens as you process what certain terms are. Example, what is gaslighting? What is a rage fit? What is verbal abuse? What is financial abuse? What is triangulation? What is the smear campaign? What is object constancy? What is narcissism? What about the trauma bond? What about understanding what the silent treatment is if I didn't say that? What about the texting games of the narcissist? The ghosting games of the narcissist? The mind games of the narcissist? What about this one? You probably figured this out by now. Here's $1 million question, or maybe even $1 billion question for you. Why do you think every narcissistic individual all operates from the same playbook? Think about that for a minute. Why do you think that is? I'll give you answers to that question and many more throughout the video and throughout the subsequent videos I create over the years. One of the things I want to share with you is each and every narcissistic individual, whether they're a micro narcissist or a macro or anywhere in between, whatever you want to call them, and so many people these days are making up their own labels, etc. I understand the whole thing. The point is you were in the relationship. Whatever you want to call it or not call it, it's up to you. The point is you have to heal from it. That's all I care about. Now, having said that, no matter what toxicity level the person you're considering has or had, it doesn't change the fact that they administered the punishment to you. They perhaps verbally abused you or financially abused you or guilted you or blamed you or took things from you or hid things from you or played texting games. Whatever they did something and it changed or altered the trajectory of your life. Your life before you met the narcissist was going in one direction. That's the direction you wanted it to go in. You didn't realize that there were workplace bullies. You didn't realize there was toxicity everywhere. You didn't realize there were people that were envious and jealous of you. You didn't realize that people would do whatever they could do to step all over you to get whatever they wanted. Maybe it was your spouse, maybe it was your job, maybe it was the corner office, maybe it was your car, maybe it was your health, maybe it was your 401k, maybe it was your hobbies. The narcissist was always in competition with you from the minute you met them, but the thing is you didn't know that you were in a competition with them, because to you a competition is a sporting event or a game of checkers or something. To the narcissist, everything is a competition. The narcissist believes they need to win, and they want to win at all costs. And to them, it's a zero-sum game, which means there needs to be one winner and an ultimate loser. And they thought when they discarded you, if they did, that you were the loser, that you wouldn't pick yourself up, dust yourself off by the bootstraps and heal properly, which again is why I'm creating this video, because this is one of the things that you want. This is why it's going to take longer than you think or longer than you thought, because this is the relationship you need to heal from. You have to unpack and unwind so many experiences and so many terms and definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You have to put them together, your experience and the definitions. When you do that, that equals wisdom. This is a newfound wisdom. It's a newfound superpower that you've acquired, and you're acquiring it and you're using it and you're having boundaries and you're realizing that you were targeted. You're also realizing that not everyone thinks the way you think. You're also realizing that not everyone has your best interest at heart. Another thing you've realized by now is that many people that are the closest to you try to or succeed at inflicting the most damage to you because they can, and they're envious and jealous. Now you, a kind, loving, stable person, why would you or would you inflict damage upon somebody knowingly? Of course you wouldn't. I wouldn't either. But that's why you're here. That's why you were targeted, because you were believing that everybody had your best interest at heart, just like I was believing. Keyword there is was. I no longer do believe that. As a matter of fact, I know there are hundreds of thousands of layers of different types of human beings. No two human beings are the same. We are all created the same way, at least that's my hope these days, but that's not how it is. We're all different. There's different nuances to us, different layers to us. That's why your fingerprint is what identifies you, and that's why the narcissist attempted to steal your fingerprint and your identity, which is what they achieved and they accomplished for a period of time, which was the length of that relationship. And then when that relationship ended, it most likely ended with a thud, a crash, and a bang, and it came out of left field, and you weren't prepared for the ending of that relationship. And let's say, as an example, that when the relationship ended, maybe in the beginning, you were actually in a good space. You were like, okay, well, it's not that bad. They're out of my life, whatever. And then something kicked in. You know what that is? That's called withdrawals. That's called the trauma bond kicking in. That's called you missing your worst enemy. That's called you wanting to talk to the person who's trying to punish you. That's called being caught up in the cycle of abuse. And the narcissist knew this. You didn't know this because you weren't taught this in school. So on the healing path, once you figure out what narcissism is, and by now you have because you're here and you're watching the video, then you wrap your head around what it is and what it did, and that it's changed your life forever. Now, there are times on the healing path that you will experience some very challenging moments. Not only moments, but days, weeks, months, and longer. And these moments, as you process them, you are healing. As you shed tears, you are healing. As you are journaling, you are healing. As you're meditating, you're healing. As you're watching videos that benefit you, you're learning. As you are seeing a therapist who can benefit you or help you, then you're getting wisdom and you're comparing information. All these things couple together, they equal the healing path. Now, the healing path is not linear. It will take time. It will take a lot of time. But in your time, you will heal if you utilize the tools that are provided for you. And yes, I'm repeating myself because that's what I do, because over and over and over again, you must have the repetition. You must understand that maybe today's the day something clicks and you finally get that light bulb moment and you realize, oh, that's what Andrew meant. That's what he meant when he said radical acceptance. That's what he meant when he said this is going to take time. That's what he said when he meant this is a roller coaster that you're going to have to get off of as soon as you possibly can. That's why he invented and coined the term the cocoon of boundaries years ago, because what is the cocoon of boundaries? It's where it's when you don't want to go out. You don't want to connect with people. You are insulating and protecting yourself, most likely in your house. And you're understanding that you don't want to connect with certain people, many people. You don't want to go out to the store. You don't want to put gas in your car. You don't want to go to work. Many times you don't want to get out of bed. But what you do want to do is you want to heal and you want to figure out what's going on. This is when you slow your life down. Now, again, if you've never been through the narcissistic abusive cycle, what I just shared with you about the cocoon of boundaries, it probably went way over your head. And that's fine. That's actually a good thing, because that means you didn't go through the cycle. Unless you're the narcissist, and if you are, hasta la vista, please remove yourself. But having said that, the cocoon of boundaries is a safe space. It's a place where most of us have been. Some of us are entering, many of us have exited, but this is when we put ourselves back together. And we put ourselves back together minute by minute, sometimes second by second, day by day, week by week, and at times month by month. But eventually what happened? Well, we exited that cocoon of boundaries. Now think of a cocoon. What is a cocoon in real life? A cocoon is where a larvae or a creature is in a cocoon, being protected, and then one day it pops out of the larvae pops out of the cocoon, and it's a beautiful butterfly. Whatever color you want it to be, yellow, blue, red, orange, whatever color you want, green. But that beautiful butterfly, that is you. So if you've healed, you know what I'm talking about. You're now flying. You've now ascended. You've elevated. You've reached the pinnacle of indifference, and your wings are no longer clipped. You can do whatever you want to do, which includes take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book. You can travel. You can sleep in. You can stay up late. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, if you're still in that cocoon of boundaries, that means you need to be there longer. Again, I'm going to reference the doctor, meaning the MD. When you break your arm, you go to the doctor, they set it and they tell you, hey, in 6 weeks, you're going to be fine. Just don't do this, 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 and do that, that, that. And then come back, we'll take the cast off and we'll see your arm. That's what happens. With the narcissistic abusive cycle, nobody can tell you when you're going to heal. So leaving that cocoon of boundaries, you must leave it when you are ready. Not when I'm ready to tell you, or not when someone else tells you should. When you're ready to leave it, you will know it. And this is when you will start to venture back out into day-to-day life. This is when you'll start putting on different clothes. It's when you'll be showering more regularly. It's when you will be available to other people. It's when you will have weeded out many people who weren't there for you or with you on this journey, meaning many people, including immediate family members, they will not have been there for you to support you. Then you would be in disbelief about that, but that's a whole different video. Then you will understand who the narcissist is. You finally will have wrapped your head around it and realize that they didn't love you. They didn't care about you. All they cared about from you is what you provided for them, which was an opportunity. The way you made them feel, what you did for them, what you bought them, the car you gave them, the roof you put over their head, how you raised their children, the tuition you paid for them, all the things you did. Whatever you did for them, you did it until you couldn't do it any longer, and that's when the relationship broke and snapped and gave. But once you process all these things and you realize that humanity is not the way you thought it was, it's not the way you were taught, it's totally different. Go back in time to some of the religious beliefs you were brought up with. Well, by now, if you've been through the narcissistic abusive cycle and you're healing, or if you have healed, you realize that not everything you read was accurate. Not at all. And now the year we're living in, which I'm not going to put the year on because you know what year it is and I don't want to date this video, whatever year this is, some of the rules from the past, they don't apply. Many of them don't apply. And you may say, well, why would that be, Andrew? I don't get it. Well, because in the old days, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have the smartphone. We were reading books or encyclopedias or literature from hundreds of years ago thinking it was accurate. And back then, it may have been accurate. I can't tell you, I wasn't around back then. But now some of that wisdom or some of those words there, it's not accurate because the world has shifted. The times are different. The energy has changed, and we now have more and more access to things that we didn't have before. You see, life is dynamic, and we need to change with life. And now that we're out of the narcissistic abusive cycle, we know way more about life than most people will ever know, because we've been to hell and back. We've had to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off by the bootstraps, and heal. That is not what many people ever will have to do mentally. Physically, sure, when they twist their ankle or break their arm or something, or have a skiing accident or a bike accident, I get it. I'm not downplaying it. I have my own physical concerns. I'm sharing with you, this is a mental exercise. It's a mental test for your life, and you're understanding that now. That's why this will take longer than you think. So many people put a timeline on when they want to be healed. They want to get back out and fall in love and date, or they just want to get their life back. I get it. I understand the whole thing. Nothing will happen overnight. Nothing will happen when you are thinking about when it's going to happen. It doesn't work that way. The way it works is every morning you wake up, you put yourself back together, you journal, meditate, you do yoga, you exercise, you go to work, you do what you have to do, but you focus on yourself. You control what you can control. And as time passes and as you apply the wisdom and acquire the wisdom, you realize slowly your energy is returning, your mindset is returning, the clarity has returned with a flurry, your finances are returning, your health is returning, the way you walk, talk, act, the way you communicate has changed, the way you talk to yourself has changed, the way you believe in yourself has massively changed, the way you've identified how there is darkness on the planet and there's light, the way you recognize that, yeah, this relationship turned you upside down. It took you super high and it dropped you super low, and no one was there to knock on your door and help you put yourself back together. You had to do it by yourself, just like I did. And the longer you realize that, and the more you realize that there's no rush here, there's no timeline, this is a marathon, it is not a sprint. And the more patient you are with yourself, the more kind you are with yourself, the more stoic you are, the more centered, focused, and resilient, then you realize that one day you will be through it. And one day, when that happens, you will wake up and you won't be thinking about the narcissist, you won't be watching narcissistic videos, you won't be doing what you were doing, you'll be in a different space. And then you'll say, wait a minute, I think it is time for that trip. I think I'm gonna go out west for a couple weeks, or maybe I'm gonna go to Hawaii for a month, or maybe I'm gonna go to Bali for a month, maybe I'm gonna go to California, maybe I'm gonna go to Asia. Who knows where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go somewhere because now not only have I earned it, but number two, I wanna get out of my current environment. I wanna experience the world again with this newfound wisdom. And I don't need anyone to come along with me to supply drama or to provide manipulation or to claim that they didn't have money and I had to pay for them, or to keep me up late at night and banging cupboards and things and missing trains and planes and blowing up everything. I don't need that. You know what I need? Peace. I need quiet. I need calmness. I need serenity. I need abundance. I need to just be. And when that day happens, whether it's on a trip or not, or whether you wake up one morning and wrap your head around it, it will happen. And when it happens, you will say to yourself, wow, I did it. I conquered something I did not even know I was in. I beat something I did not even know I was up against. I knocked out the narcissistic abusive relationship, the narcissistic abusive cycle, and I put myself back together against all odds. And now I can do whatever I want to do. And yes, there were times on the healing path when I wanted to rush it. Yes, there were times in the healing path I wanted to take shortcuts, but I figured I couldn't do that. It would never serve me. You see, this relationship, you can't just put a Band-Aid over it. You can't wish it away. You can't just sit there and think that, oh no, I'll be better tomorrow. If you don't do the work, you're not gonna heal. Yes, that is a fact. Many people think that as time passes, that will heal the relationship or the toxicity for them. That's only one element. It's one small element. Time does not cure everything, not even close. And there's an old adage that you probably heard when you were younger. Time cures everything. Time heals everything. Guess what? It doesn't. You know what heals the narcissistic relationship? You do. You by practicing radical acceptance, you by learning, you by accepting, you by understanding, you by seeing how humanity works. And yes, one of those ingredients, and I only mentioned 4 or 5 there, one of them is time, but time is not the solution, absolutely not. This is why each and every one of us have 1,440 seconds, or minutes in a day, every day. Think about that number. 1,440 minutes in a day. We all have the same amount of time in the day. Think about the number for a minute. You get it, I hope you do. But also think about what you do with your time. If you're just watching the clock tick and you're thinking that that's gonna help you heal, that's not the solution. The solution is to maximize your time, maximize every moment. No one's guaranteed to be here tomorrow. No one's guaranteed to wake up. No one's guaranteed to have what they have today, tomorrow. You now know that because when you were in the narcissistic abusive cycle or the relationship, you thought that you were in the best relationship known to humankind. It was anything but that. And then it went away one day. When it went away, you had to heal, and here we are. But all the time that you've processed things, all the time that you've cried and journaled and meditated, maybe even experienced the angry stage, all that will pay off hugely for you in the future if it hasn't already. But realize and wrap your head around one thing before I close the video. This will take a lot more time than you thought. It will take a lot more time than you want it to take. But everything that you do to heal and to focus on yourself post-relationship by yourself, meaning understanding that you will have sleepless nights, there will be times you won't want to get out of bed, you won't want to eat, etc., all that. wrapping your head around that you have to go through it. It's a tunnel. You have to go through the tunnel. You have to go through the darkness. You have to maybe even experience the dark night of the soul, but you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And one day that tunnel will get wider and wider, and you will be where? That's right, you'll be at the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. And you will realize that no, you didn't want to go through the relationship, but yes, you had to, and that you've healed, and you took your time, and you did it the proper way, and you can hold your head high, because despite all odds being against you, despite the smear campaign, all the people trying to blow up your life, and at the top of that list was the narcissist, you made it out and you healed. That's why you are a very, very strong and resilient individual. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I hope you enjoy the video. I love doing it. I love doing these videos each and every day and sharing my wisdom, my experiences with you. If today is where you want to be, enjoy it, embrace it, celebrate, meaning be grateful. If today is not where you want to be, well, there's work to be done.